Hi guys, I'm Ken Stone. I'm the owner of Ken's IT in Vermont, local tech guy, and um, it's my new lab. So I'm gonna go over what I do. And the hardest part of starting to be a tech is starting somewhere. Talking to my wife the other day, and she's like, the hardest part is just starting and start recording and get everything going. So my thing was having a spot designated to do the recording and do all the jobs I need to do. So I got this lab going, and that's all we do here. So uh, go over my tools today and talk about what we've done and go from there. So let's see. So off to my left here is my main computer that I use, Apple um, MacBook Pro. Um, in front of me is my screen. I can display this one, I guess. So we got MacBook up here in my main screen in front of me. Um, and over to the side we have a HDMI signal splitter. Um, so any HDMI can be fed right through my video recorder, right into the OBS Studio. So I have the computer on the screen here, and then I have this microphone, this microscope, and the the thermal camera up here that we will be using. All go through this display and then onto the screen. Um, you have your multimeter here. It's got a camera for that. We have a camera for the power supply, and then I have another power supply that you can change the ends on it and um, dial in what the voltage it needs. Got my Wi-Fi and security in here. Exhaust fan for my soldering station, and then you got the heat gun and the vacuum sucker for the solder, and then my odds and end tools. You obviously need a vacuum and a fire extinguisher, so that's in there. So that's pretty much my lab at the moment. Sorry for moving the camera so quick. Um, yeah, so I'm just gonna start doing some videos. When I have a job, I'll bring the job in and get in here and start recording. And today I'm gonna work on a little soldering. Um, just take, I have a it's a motherboard off of a hard drive. Let me change my camera here. So I have this is a motherboard off of a hard drive, SATA, and I'm gonna take some of these components off, clean them up, clean the board up, and then test them with the multimeter and put them back on. So it's just basically a test of soldering skills, and we'll go from there. So um, my first video, so I don't really have a script on this one. So let me get the fan on and soldering station up and running. So move the camera over here. Do do do. Where I'll be working right there. Just the light a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so yeah, up in the top corner there, you can see my workstation. Um, I'm not really going to inject any voltage or anything. I may use a multimeter a little bit, but let's get the station up and going here. The main thing about this work area is I put in enough outlets to not really have to move my equipment around too much. Um, and also, I'm gonna lower the fire alarm because the exhaust system works good, but with the heat and everything, may have trouble to take that down. So I know it may go off, so no sense of having it up there while I'm here. So I take it down to the side. It should be all good. We had that vent. I have a window up here also, so I open the window. I know I'm rambling now, but should have prepped this a little bit more. But the next video should be a little smoother. So right here, you're looking at some capacitors and a resistor there. And there's a resistor and three capacitors. So the capacitor, when you're measuring it with the multimeter, continuity mode, you hear the beeping. Okay. So when you're testing, if you're testing the capacitors, you should not hear a beep between the two. Because if you do, it means it's short. So it's not short. Okay. So we're going to take those three off, clean it up, and then put them back on. So that's the goal. Oops, they're plugging my gun. The solder station, I unplug it each time. I like leaving that stuff plugged in, but cord. I'll edit out some of this so you're not waiting as long. But I'm a tech guy. I've been in business for since 2014, and um, I find that it's been harder to get parts and stuff for local techs. The businesses or the main companies are not releasing their parts as quick as before. Um, replacement parts are they're not releasing it, and which makes it harder for repair techs to repair things. Um, so I've been finding myself doing a lot of software, hardware, some basic hardware stuff, and a lot of software stuff, training, teaching, fixing. I found myself turning away a lot of component repair. So I really wasn't set up for component repair. I didn't really research it until just a short time ago. So I feel that I have a better understanding of component repair, and I feel I can repair more than I've been letting on as far as um, just taking that extra step to actually test and do this stuff. So I have some extra boards, and I'm just going to take my time and practice with these boards, take it off pieces, put them back on, um, go from there. You have to experience this stuff as far as soldering and resoldering, um, the heat gun, how high what kind of temperatures you have. I bought some low melt solder, which is this stuff here. Um, I'll put a link in the description down below. But this is not a sponsored video by any means. Um, but I bought all this stuff. Um, so when you're working with these boards, the low mount solder helps you get the components off a little easier and let you clean up the board a lot better. Um, so we're almost ready here. So let me see. So let's start with this capacitor here. We're going to start with this one, take it out and set it aside, take all four off, and then put them all back on. So that's what we're going to do here. So you want to make sure your arms are resting on something, you're not shaking a lot, just take your time. You don't want to hold your heat gun in one place either. Um, there's that component there, very tiny. Because you have plastic here, this black piece is plastic, so you really don't want to you don't want to burn that plastic. So let me see. Let me get a white piece of paper. I'm gonna put this component on a white piece of paper so we don't lose it. Very tiny, very tiny. Then I'm gonna use my multimeter. Test it one more time. And still no beat. We're good. I know it's a good component. So all right. So let's do the next one. Next one's a resistor. Mhm. So you really don't want to pull. You don't want to pull um, on the component because you can rip these pads off. So that was actually I think it's a fuse. That was fuse, I believe. That really was fuse. So the fuse, you should be able to hear it because if it was broken, there would be no continuity. So that one, you're, you should definitely hear a beep. Let's do the next one here. Take your time. You just want to do like four components a day or something, and take your time, and that way you get to practice and you have to get practice on doing this. It's when you go to solder this stuff with a tip this large. You have a tip this large, and you have a component that small. So your hands are going to be shaking, and you just got to take your time. So, and when you have like solder, like balled solder, like right here, the solder is balled up on the pads. Like these pads, there's no solder on them. Okay, so with the solder that's on these, you can actually put those parts back on there and resolder them without changing that solder, and it will hold just fine. So let's move this over just a hair more. There we go. All right, so we got one more to go, and then we're gonna start putting them back on. So let me test that last one, make sure where we're at. Yeah. So there was um, no beeping on that one. So there we go. Next one. Nice. Come out nice. Those come off nice. This one here. So some of these chips are called diodes, and the energy only goes one way on some of these chips. So let me see if I can find one for you. I'll show you what I mean. But so these chips, I don't have to um, put on a certain way. They can go either direction. The diode, though, you have to put it. The line means the energy flows that way, and it can't go backwards. So you want to make sure you put them back on the right way. So orientation on that one and the certain other chips, you need to make sure the orientation is right. Okay. So we'll take it and we'll go backwards and put them back on. So, but if you're looking at these pads, let me explain these pads to you. So start reading the board diagram on this chip right here. The chip right there. You see that little line right there? So that's where the track is going over there. Um, Same with this one, the green track. And then that little circle right there means it's going to go to the other side of the board. So that one's going there. And then this one is coming this way and up over to this one. So those two are linked. Um, these two are linked coming this way. And then it goes over to this pad. And there's a part that goes underneath the board right there. So, and then this one, there's a part that goes underneath the board to the other side over to that one. And this one, um, looks like there's a track right here. This green track goes across and over to this capacitor right there. So that's how you would read a board. As part of it. So, all right. So let's put this back on here. This kind of brings the chip back up. Get it ready to line up. You use my other tweezers. So right there, it should suck it right back down. Whoops. These pieces are really small, so you want to really keep an eye on them when you're working with them. And I have glasses also, so I should probably be wearing those while I'm working with it. They only help you a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna hold that in place right there, and that. Hey, hot. That was hot. This is where you need practice. Need some practice. Shakiness, everything else. So just make sure you don't lose it because it's really tiny. So I had this board tilted like that. I'm going to tilt it back up. I don't like how it's tilted. Okay, so that should suck right into place. You don't want to have the fan going too high because it'll blow it right off. So you hold the gun away from it. Don't be too close. Oops, too close. Too close. Okay, so then I'm going to try to hold that in there. Okay, I feel it going now. Nice. Nice. It feels really good. You can also, as you're doing this, add a little flux to it. It cleans the surfaces, which I forgot about. But we'll add a little flux. Actually, it helps the solder melt a little quicker, so you're not having to heat up the board as much. Okay, do the fuse. Come on. Okay, so the fuse is almost right in the spot right there. Should just zoom right in there. There it goes. It's a whole lot better. Oops. Nice. Just want to clean the board a little bit. We use little isopropyl or alcohol to clean it. Never use water. Okay, that's good. Okay, two more to go. So, snap. And that's why you watch what thing you're doing. I put my arm up there, and here it is. I put my arm up here, and one of those capacitors came right out that white sheet. I think I'll use tape next time. But anyways, so so that's nice to clean. We're gonna put two more little fucks here. The last two. Okay. Yeah. And flux actually grabs right a hold of it. And tries to hold it in place there. So you know, when it heats up enough, it should suck it right in there. You know, go through it touching. Yeah. So I like that too close. Sorry. Okay. That should be good on that one. Nice and tight. So one more to go. Okay. Okay. It's all lined up. One last one to go. I'm trying to keep it away from the plastic. So Yeah, that should be good. First nice and solid. Yep. Okay, so let's clean it up and call it good and do a summary. So, and basically, that's all we do. Just take your time, practice. Basically, what it is just practice. Clean up the flux. Sometimes it's all right to leave a little flux. It helps with sealing the board up and stuff. But you really want to clean up your work area there. So, so that one is not the most even one. I can push that over some there. So let's do that. And practice. Practice is about trial and error. There. Get the board up. Move the heat. Solder getting solid again. There it is. Turn the board up one more time. Yeah, sizzle. That's a little warm. So overall, they look good. Let's test them with a multimeter here. Test them one more time. That one's beeping. That's good. It's supposed to be because it's a fuse. Yeah, so that's it. So turn my solder machine on. Come back over to you. Finish up here. A little more light going on. So I'm Ken Stahl, and it's my lab. So when I get some jobs, we'll get in here and troubleshoot and do what we can do. And until then, we'll practice some. You know, whatever I'm working on, we'll get it out in the lab here and get our hands on, try it out. Um, Obviously, I didn't go over any of the tools or the soldering equipment, anything like that. I will go over the equipment later. But there's plenty of content on YouTube for learning how to solder, micro solder, use the multimeter. I mean, I'm not really going to the low level on those. Um, I just want to be hands on, get in there and see what we can do. You know, if we break something, we break it. I mean, but hopefully we don't break it. Um, we're able to put it back. If not as good as it came off, but better. You know, if not, we came close. And the main thing is experience. So yeah, well, we spent 35 minutes together. I appreciate your time. If you like my content, please subscribe and like. Help my videos get out there. Um, Obviously, it's my first one, so hopefully they get a lot better. So if you have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below and we'll see what we can do. I'll see you guys. Take care.